Good morning, good morning, do 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 do. Good morning to you. Good morning. Up on this spring but still chilly morning. Oh, choosing to dose our brains. One of the greatest ways to dose our brain is to build in associations so that when things go topsy-turvy, we have like a reflex to laugh. And I just this morning was making tea and spilled a cup of tea with so I had my lovely mug. Luckily, it's not breakable. I spilled it, but I was a little distracted looking at something. It was moving around. It just slipped right into my hands. I was like, boing! It hit the kitchen floor and bounced back up. And the majority of the tea stayed in the cup. I just thought, magic Whoopsie Daisy stories are now happening to me. Like, boom, boom, we are here for you. It was a great, I immediately started laughing. Although my pajamas they received the other half that wasn't in the cup anymore. But whoopsie daisy. And it reminded me of one of the whoopsie daisy stories that got me started into whoopsie daisy world. Is I had a coach long time back who said she had dropped or spilled paint. She was painting a room and had the gallon of paint sitting in the middle of the floor and accidentally knocked it over, and it just flooded her hardwood floor. And I had thought, and she said, and she just started laughing. And I remember way back at that time thinking, oh my gosh, I can't imagine having that kind of joviality in me, that late at night painting a room and knocking paint over it, that I would find it to be that funny, I'd be like, more work, brah. And so, but I was very aspirational for me. I was like, I like the idea of being a person who, when that kind of thing happens, you laugh. And then I researched more about creating these associations between wobbly moments and humor. And over time, and then time goes by and over time. And then being the master manifester that I am, my son and I are touching up paint in our kitchen. And I am holding a quart of paint and just, kind of carrying it around and dipping the brush in, and bright white trim paint. And no idea what caused it. But again, it was like, I think there's a place in my kitchen that has extra strong gravitational pull, apparently. It just sucks things in. And I was standing on the counters painting trim, and then boom, the whole thing, bam, it did just like the teacups. That's why this brought me up to this whoopsie daisy story. Bam, it hits the ground, goes flying up in the air. But then, unfortunately, with the paint, it then hit the ground a second time and toppled over. But that first bam splatter was what gave the Jackson Pollock effect to the entire kitchen. White paint, like tiny ones, big ones, but white polka dotted all over the kitchen. I mean, it was like 101 Dalmatians had just been in there. I mean, white dots all over the place. I know they have black dots, but the reverse of them. And Lord, was it funny. I mean, I started laughing, and my son comes in the room. He's like, Mom! And all I can do is sitting on the counter covered with paint. And I'm like, oh, don't come in. We got a little flood. And he's just standing at the door like, what do I do? And Shirley thinking his mom has lost it because I'm covered with paint. The whole room's covered with paint. I'm just sitting there laughing, and it really feels like one of the funniest, like, Hollywood movie moments that I've ever been in. Oh God. It was so funny. Apparently, I still think it's funny. And whew, my sweet son comes in and we start mopping it up and getting towels and sponges, and we're trying to get it up before it even starts to dry, because some of these are small, and I'm thinking once that little dot dries with latex paint, it's gonna be a lot harder to get off. And so now the two of us are just laughing and laughing, and we end up getting paint all on our feet and making white footsteps. It was a painted wooden floor. And so we just make like this pattern of white painted footsteps all over the floor, which you can see my design effect is that it's still there. It's a nice story opportunity when people come over. Eventually I will change out the kitchen floor, but for now, it actually is quite pretty white dappled wood. Little toe prints, little piggy prints all over it. I'm admitting the style, the way I have styled my kitchen. But one of the great things about it was realizing that I had set such an intention and visualized that I could do this, that I'm sure that's why I dropped that paint. It was just like the proof to myself that I had arrived. I could drop paint all over the floor and all over the house and get a laugh out of it. So I hope that y'all will find that Whoopsie Daisy story to be encouraging, and so you got a little bit of the inside scoop on the history of Whoopsie Daisy stories, their origin story, and that it encourages you to, even at the beginning, I remember really frustrating things would happen, and I would do chosen laughter. I'd choose to laugh. It'd be like, ha, 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 ha. And sometimes it sounded like the ha, 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 ha. But it started laying down the neural pathways to laugh when there were mishaps or missteps. And I hope that encourages you guys to give it a try, bringing more and more Whoopsie Daisy moments into your day. Well, let's take 3 solidarity breaths together. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I hope today will surprise and delight you, even if there's spills.